Welcome back to the channel, and today I've asked my Discord to draw me a bunch of pictures that I'm gonna try to replicate in real life by building them in Scrap Mechanic, which is not real life, it's a game. But let's get right into it with the first picture drawn by Riv. It looks like it is a very strange and perhaps dangerous suspension mug system where there's two pistons. There's a blue piston and a green piston. It looks like step one is the green piston will extend an upside down suspension mug downwards, and then the blue piston will essentially intersect the two suspension mugs so that they're clipping through the suspensions. And then step three is to retract the green piston. Oh boy. And that is essentially going to attempt to merge the suspension mugs into each other. And I don't know what is going to happen when I do that, but let's follow this drawing, the blueprint that we have here, and see what ends up happening. All right, so by the looks of it, one of the weird things is that this piston, or not this piston, but this suspension mug is on a block that has a bearing that for some reason is locked in place by a controller. All right, so I'll hook a controller up to that bearing. All right, and then we've got to build our classic suspension mug by putting a mug on a piece of suspension, which was a little bit harder than I expected it to be. And then I've got to do it. How many blocks does this take up? Because I got to actually measure this out. 1, 2, 3, 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So the suspension has to attach to a piston that is essentially coming out right to there. So I think this is where I need to attach it. So I need to do a piston right there, and then a block, and then a piston, and then a suspension. Oh, I need to go an extra block higher because I need to put a block on the end of the suspension. All right, there we go. Perfect. Now the mugs are aligned. So now by hooking this controller up, actually, it's kind of useful to have this here. If I hook it up into the pistons, I can actually have it go in order here. So it is going to extend. This piston is number 2 right here, then number 3. So number 2 is going to extend by 1 block, and then number 3 is going to extend by 1 block, and then number 2 is going to retract by 1 block. And I think we have the thing here. I don't even know what to name this, but I'm going to save it in case it ends up disappearing for some reason. We're probably going to break reality or nothing's going to happen. I feel like those are the only 2 options. I'm just going to call it the Mug Collider. All right, I am not going to weld it to the ground because I feel like that's going to have a more interesting result, but here it goes in 3, 2, 1. I forgot to hook up the switch. All right, cue the dramatic music in 3, 2, 1. Oh my, it's so slow. It's so slow. What's gonna happen? Here it goes, step 3. Okay. So we could either break reality or nothing happens. Those are the 2 options. And it appears that the nothing option is unfortunately the result here. But wait a minute, there's other options. There's other options that we can do here. We have parameters to mess with. I'm going to change the speed of this all the way up to max now. Oh, wait, what? Okay, all right, already had something weird happen with that, but let's see what max speed feels like. It's not really that fast. Not a whole lot happens with this. I don't know what you expected. You know what happens if we disconnect this bearing? What? Did they merge? Oh, they're trying to, they're definitely trying to merge. Okay, I wasn't expecting anything to actually happen. I'm trying to look, I need to, hold on. I can't look at it. So we're just kind of pushing each other off the suspension, causing a weird suspension glitch. I don't know what they expected to happen with this, but this is the result. They drew it, I built it, and this is what we got. On to the next one. Okay, the next drawing is drawn by Quebec Gamer, and this is apparently some type of off-road truck with a bearing in between the front half and the second half, which is gonna make for some interesting suspension effects. We got suspension on the wheels. We've got a rear bed that is attached by a bearing to the front cabin. All right, I think I've got a usable front cab built so far. Maybe increase the suspension here a little bit. So now, attached to a bearing, apparently down at the bottom right here. This is where the back cab is going to be built off of. Should there be a gap? I guess there's kind of like a little gap on the drawing. I guess I'll leave a little gap just so we can visualize the segment better. All right, I think it's all ready. The back cab is built. It's hooked up with a bearing. I've got an electric engine on this thing because electric engines tend to be much better for rock crawling. And now the only problem is we need to find some rocks to crawl over, some roads to off. And something tells me this speed isn't quite the ideal speed to get there. But don't worry, I'll temporarily max out the speed on this thing. Let's see what it feels like. Oh boy. Oh boy. Oh boy. This is bad. I actually forgot what I did to the back cab. Oh no, this is not good. This is not meant for these speeds. Oh no. You know what? It's perfect. Perfection. Oh my goodness. Wait, this thing's kind of epic actually. All right, I'll be right back. I look like an injured animal. Okay, no, we're fixed. We're fixed. No, okay, and we're not fixed. Okay, I think I know where there's a good off-roading section. At least to test out some stuff. All right, I've made it. We have some ridges, some ledges. So we can see if we can crawl over with these things. I need to find a good crawling speed. Is this good? Is this too much? I also realize, oh my goodness. Okay, I don't know how I feel about this thing anymore. See, the problem is now, the back of my vehicle provides no support whatsoever to the front of my vehicle to prevent it from tipping. I essentially have two-wheeled vehicles that are attached to each other. So as soon as one starts flipping over, I mean, there are some benefits. What I feel like needs to be happening here is there needs to be some type of stabilizing suspension force between the that stabilizes that bearing. Right now, it's a completely free bearing that can rotate in any direction. We need it to act like suspension. Because we just need it to be able to flex in either direction, but not completely rotate all the way around. And I think I might have a solution for that, but let's test this thing out a little bit more first. Okay. Like, look, that's super interesting. I think even one notch slower might be a little bit better. I feel like this front bumper was a mistake. If you want a good rock crawler, your wheels need to stick out from your front bumper a little bit. Otherwise, you run into that issue. I have an idea on how to attempt to make this thing work in a slightly better manner. I'm going to add suspension right here, and this way the cab is actually going to contribute to the suspension on the bed. Okay, so now as I turn back and forth, you can see there's actually a little bit of resistance, and the cab shouldn't be able to flip all the way around anymore. So let's go back over onto this rock area and see if this feels any better. This is such a weird vehicle. I know we've deviated from the original design, and actually, for some reason, I just completely overlooked that the original drawing tells me to put a cool roll bar with lights. Well, you know what? This is a different type of roll bar than you intended, because this bar literally is what stabilizes the roll of the cab. But don't worry, I'm gonna give you your lights on the roll bar. There we go. All right, now let's see how this thing feels. Now that it's gonna have, oh boy, what happened there? You had one job. You did not do that job. Oh no. All right, we need to make some more adjustments apparently. All right, so I'm going to extend these a little bit more this way. So there's gonna be less room for it to slip, I hope. All right, now let's see how this feels. Oh man, it's wanting to slip so bad. Okay, you know what needs to happen? I just haven't, I haven't given these things any stiffness. So now they're a little bit stiffer. There we go. There might be a little bit too stiff actually. Let's lower it down by one. I wanna see some nice flexing. I feel like this is the hip flexibility equivalent of trucks. Okay, that might be a little bit too weak now. All about the fine tuning. Okay, here we go. Another test here. Yeah, that one felt good. All right, let's do like a one side test. Hey, that's not bad at all. I'm actually really liking how this turned out. Let's bump the engine up a little bit more. All right, here we go. Yeah, adding that that resistance, that stopping, you know, it has a maximum rotation it can do now, but it still has a little bit of stiffness, a little bit of give. I think we have vastly improved on the original design, allowing it to accomplish its original intent much better. Did you see that? That was epic. How about getting up this though? Let's see what its climbing power is really like. This one's a lot steeper. Oh, look at that. See, look at that flex. That is great. And I'm not just flipping over. Wow. This thing's actually kind of amazing now. I like it. All right, well, let's go back to our max speed and see how that feels in comparison. Now that we're hopefully not gonna be flipping over. Uh-oh. Oh no, I think I've entered a suspension glitch. Okay, this is not good. It's not meant for these kind of speeds. I think we've mission accomplished on this one. Let's get on to the next drawing. All right, the third drawing comes to us from that suspicious stew, and it's an infinity useless machine. And by the looks of it, it is a spud gun that shoots a button that is hooked into a logic gate that activates a spud gun that shoots a button that is hooked into a logic gate that activates the original spud gun, and so on. And once you press a button on this thing, it's essentially never going to stop. It is going to keep shooting the buttons and activating itself in a infinite loop of uselessness. So fortunately, this is a really quick build. So just put a couple blocks down, put a couple logic gates down, put a couple buttons down, put the spud gun down, hook the logic gate into the spud gun, the button into the logic gate. Working great. And then if I just duplicate this, and now I just gotta weld them both to a base, essentially. So this one welds there. This one welds there, and I think we are set up. So once I press one of these buttons, this useless machine is going to be useless for infinity. You ready? 3, 2, 1. Oh, wait, did that not work? Did you see it, like, wait. I think this is firing too fast for the button to be pressed again. This useless machine is so useless, it doesn't even do its only purpose, which is to be useless. That's how useless it is. I can't even get it to be a useless machine. Okay, you know, I think I know what needs to happen, and pretty much all I gotta do is make some distance in between these. I need the spud gun to take more time to hit the button. So if I do this, let's see if this is gonna be enough. All right. Can you be useless for real now? There we go. That was the issue. All right, well, this is what you asked for. And here it is. Are you happy? I should just leave this right next to me for the rest of the video so you have to deal with this. I'm gonna, wait, if I stand in it, I can stop it. I have the power. For some reason, I didn't realize that I could just do that. I was thinking once this goes, I can't stop it until I, like, delete it. If I just stop one spud, it stops the whole thing. There you have it. Infinite useless machine. I think I'd rather call it the annoying machine instead of the useless machine, but I will honor the original drawing. All right, our next drawing comes to us from a corn. It is the Segway Toilet, which this actually might be a difficult build. I don't know if this is possible, at least not without expanding on the original design. Well, it depends. Do you want it to balance or not? I think it's implied in the Segway aspect of the toilet that it's supposed to balance. But if that's the case, I need to fit some stuff under that toilet that the original drawing might not allow room for. But let's see what I can do. This is probably not going to be the best Segway toilet, but it'll be one of the Segway toilets. Okay, so I've got to build off of a toilet, and somehow I'm going to have to fit a suspension glitch, a couple of suspension glitches on here that are going to allow this thing to balance. All right, so I got the suspension glitches. Now to build out to the wheels, which I think I can actually attach right here. There we go. Actually, this is looking kind of better than I expected. Okay, these wheels are kind of massive though. The toilet, you know, it's not the wheels that are, it's the toilet that is small. The toilet is kind of small, isn't it? Okay, so we're on to something. All right, now I need sensors for the ground. We're gonna put one sensor in the front there, one sensor in the back. Now I'm gonna need some balance controllers. Oh, I forgot to put an engine on this thing. I've just like finished trying to tune all of the bearings and the controllers and the sensors so you can see it's trying to balance itself, but I don't have a way to go right now. I guess I could slap an engine on the back. All right, I'm doing it. I'm slapping an engine on the back. There we go. Oh no, and I just realized that the engine This is not a driver's seat. This is a toilet seat. Okay, no, that's fine, because I actually need 2 engines anyway. I wanted to not do 1 engine. I need electric engines now. I didn't want that engine anyway. All right, so I got that engine, and I got that engine. So 1 engine's gonna be for the left side, 1 engine's gonna be for the right side, and then I'm gonna have 1 button to control 1 engine, and 1 button to control the other engine. So now, to go forward, I press both of them. Oh no, it's terrible. Okay, up the engine speed. All right, perfect. All right, here we go. Segway, go toilet Segway. Okay, hold on, there needs to be a little bit more, there needs to be some fine tuning here. Okay, okay, go. Go. Okay, clearly the suspension's a little bit too strong right now. Don't worry, we're working on it. We're working on it. Okay, see, improvement, maybe. I don't know, is this improvement? Oh. 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 It's a little wobbly, isn't it? All right, here, I'm trying something new here. It's not working. It's not working. Is it working? All right, I got a slightly new idea. Okay, so now what is going to happen is when I press either of these buttons, it is going to move the front sensor to face up a little bit and move the back sensor to face down a little bit so that it kind of should tilt me forward. So there we go. And then when I release, it's still so wobbly, but it should gear me towards a more forward lean when I'm moving, and then try to balance me upright a little bit more when I'm not moving, but it does not balance me very well. But theoretically I can also turn by just holding 1 button, but the problem is the feedback loop. You know, no one ever said Segway Toilet was gonna be an amazing product. It's just a product. Gotta slap a big disclaimer tag on this thing that says for entertainment purposes only. Do not rely on this to get to work. All right, you know what? Here's the problem. I found the problem. The engines were clearly just too low. That was our problem. All right, you ready? Now we can see the Segway in its full final form. They just don't always touch the ground at the same time, and that's what makes the Segway Toilet amazing. All right, you know what? We should probably move on to another drawing before I end up getting hurt with this thing. Okay, next up by I'm Not Smarty is the Unspillable Mug, and you gotta love the face to just really, it just really sets the mood for what to expect when you see this thing in action. So apparently this is a suspension mug, but it is placed on a like gyroscopic base. So not only does it have that vertical stability of the suspension, but it is also going to keep it from tipping over. And I think I have built something like this before, but not this compact. This is a much more compact version of it. I think I built a more giant version of a stabilizer, of a gyroscopic suspension mug in a previous, that might have actually been a previous YDIB as well. But let's see if I can simplify this build to make it relatively simple. All right, so for this one, we're definitely going to need pipe pieces. Should actually probably give this thing a little bit of extra room, just, you know, to move and sway around here. And then these have to be a new set of T intersections. And these go outwards. And this is the next gyroscopic axis of rotation. All right, I think that's looking pretty good so far. So then on top of this is another suspension mug. But now I have to, oh, that's not welded together. Don't worry about that. But I have to add a counterweight to the bottom of this so it actually, something's, you know, holding the suspension mug upwards. So let's take a little bit of concrete 3. Oh my goodness, look at that. Whoa, 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 whoa. Going in overdrive. Was not ready for that. All right, let's officially weld these so everything should stay intact now. Okay, now I just need to attach this to something. Dang it, I need an attachment point. Oh, here we go. The merging of 2 creations in this episode. I will weld the suspension mug to the back of, actually, maybe up here. Yeah, I'm gonna weld the suspension mug up here on this thing, and now we can see how well Good. Hold on. I need to go slower. We're at max speed still. No, no, no. Stop it. Stop. Please stop it. I might need to add a little bit more weight. It's a little bit more of a counterweight down here. There we go. Now the problem should be solved. All right, ready? I thought it was actually gonna kind of be good. It's really not, though. I think there's actually a bit of a suspension glitch happening, though. There's something weird about it. There's like energy is being put into that system in a weird way. It's as close to the drawing as I can get it. All right, you know, maybe the problem is, maybe I gotta lower the suspension amount. Let's see how this feels now. Okay, not good so far. Nothing really seems to help this thing. Oh my goodness, look at it go, look at it go. See, this is like the ultra spillable mug. You don't need to stabilize the stabilizer mug. I think that was the problem. It's like putting two odd numbers together. You're just gonna end up getting an even number. You don't get a more odd number. All right, and up last by the Shuttleman 27. This is an interesting one. It is called the Catapult. It launches your seat over whatever you crashed into using the momentum of the car body itself, set sensor to like 1 or 2 range. So by the looks of it, there is a big block of car with wheels on it. There is a sensor at the front of the car that detects essentially a bumper. When the bumper runs into something, it is going to compress or rotate into the sensor via that blue bearing at the front of the car, which then rotates our entire driver's seat up like a catapult, then causing, when the sensor gets triggered, it fires a spud gun which disconnects the driver's seat, launching us over whatever we hit. I don't know if this is to the benefit of the driver in any way whatsoever. This is basically like a auto send yourself through the windshield in a crash device. But thankfully, this thing doesn't have a windshield. You just go right through the open air and land on the ground. Hopefully the seat has some type of like airbag or parachute plans to be built into it, but we're gonna build this thing as is. All right, so first we need our car. All right, we got the basics of our car. So I need to attach a bearing right there, which is then going to be attached to the catapult system. I guess I need another one on this side, gotta mirror it. All right, so this goes up and it goes back in this direction towards the seat. This is gonna create the leverage to send the catapult up into the air. And then the seat has to be attached to these cardboard blocks. And this is what allows us to detach ourselves. So, all right, so spud gun shoots the cardboard, seat will get detached. So now we need to create the bumper system. So we will have a type of bumper that goes out in this direction, down, and I guess we might as well make it cover the length or the width of the wheelbase. And you know, we should just probably, well, we don't want it too close to the ground though, because it needs to actually hit whatever we run into instead of driving over it. But that should push the bumper into this sensor. And I just realized that's exactly what that little pillar is for, isn't it? This pillar is to hold up the seat, huh? There we go. The seat rests on this pillar. So that means the seat's gonna be able to bounce. Oh, that's actually bad. The bouncing of this might actually cause it to trigger. But I guess we need to figure out exactly what the distance here is of this sensor. Okay, so let's do like 3 blocks. That'll give us a decent catapultingness. Okay, I'm just not strong enough. All right, let's run into something gently. All right, here we go. We're driving. Now, I do not have the sensor hooked up yet to the spud gun because I want to do a test first to see if this thing even functions as intended. Oh my goodness, it does. That's gonna catapult me for sure. Let's see when the sensor gets triggered though. Does the sensor get triggered? Okay, that's kind of not good. It doesn't really, it kind of pivots around the sensor. It doesn't pivot into the sensor very much right now. I can add a little bit of this. That should help. All right, well, it triggers the sensor. Might be too soon, though. We need to make sure the seat gets some momentum before it disconnects. All right, I still think that's too soon. Let's lower it down to 2 blocks. Oh, I think that's good. All right, I think we have a good sensor distance now. All right, so I'm going to hook the sensor up into the spud gun and save this because once this happens, the whole seat's going to get disconnected from all the controls. YDIB crash pult. All right, so the idea is if we crash into something, we should get launched over it like a catapult. Hopefully it doesn't prematurely trigger. Now, we can get launched over that for sure, right? Full speed ahead, here we go. Okay, that was a good first test. I think it needs some tuning though. I think the trigger actually needs to happen a little bit quicker. Let's put this on 3, delete that. And let's see how this feels. And you know what? I'm also going to upgrade this engine to go a little bit faster. All right, here we go. Here we go. Oh! It worked so well. That was amazing. I gotta remember those settings because I didn't save them. All right, so I increased the engine power. I deleted these and I increased the sensor up to 3. Okay, resave. This is the perfect Crashapult, I think. All right, let's drive this thing around a little bit more. We gotta definitely do that again. Oh boy, this is actually a little... I was really afraid of that. I think we need to go slower. The bouncing is definitely gonna have an issue here. Oh boy. Oh boy, the bouncing scares me. No way it can work with this, right? Ah, dang it. Yeah, I don't think higher obstacles are gonna work as well. I think it needs to be like the height of my vehicle or lower. All right, let's try this rock right here. There we go. Oh, it's so good. It is so good. That is a really, really clever creation. I like that one a lot. All right, so we've had a whole variety of drawings for this episode today. Which one do you think came out the best in Scrap Mechanic? And if you want to be part of future You Draw, I Build episodes, make sure you join the Discord so you don't miss the community events in the server. We will be having more of those coming up. You Draw, I Build. We will have your best builds coming back soon as well. So definitely make sure you are part of the Scrapyard Discord if you want to join. So there will be a link down in the description for that. If you guys enjoyed this episode, you'll probably enjoy some more that you can find right here on the end screen. Hope this video has earned your subscription. Anyway, this has been ScrapMan, and I'll see you next time. Bye.